Hey, today is Saturday, July 24. It's 10:05 a.m. 75 degrees outside on a cool, beautiful day. My name is Jerry Gloche. Good morning. Welcome to another Saturday morning edition here of Chairwoman Gwendena Lee-Gatewood's Facebook show. And so Terrell Massey, good morning. Izzy Kale, Callie, good morning. Ethan NT, good morning to you. So without further ado, let's welcome the Honorable Chairwoman. I believe she is at the Executive Office this morning.
Hey,
Hey, there
morning.
you are. Good morning. How
Good
you
morning.
doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Good morning, Rosie Sosi Bingham from Mesa. Hi. Tim Cosen, good morning from Mesa. All right. Chairwoman, we got a pretty good show today. Um, I will pass the ball to you. Do we have any announcements this morning? I got a couple, but go ahead. You go first.
Yes, if we could have a photo, Mr. Producer, of the Tim Cosen. We're so proud of
Tim
him.
Cosen.
He's going to get his diploma today, Jerry. High school
Wow.
diploma. And it's going to be a great day for him down in the valley. There you go.
Yay.
You know, it's never too late to get your diploma. And we're so proud of you, Tim, for every White Mountain Apache that gets a diploma, a degree, uh, uh, you know, vocational, anything. We're extremely happy for everyone. And congratulations, Tim. And also a happy birthday to my grandson. It's my late sister Phoebe's grandson, but in the Apache way, he's also my grandson. I'm his grandma.
Right.
He had a birthday celebration late last night. We went into the late hours because we were just enjoying one another's company. Happy birthday, Elliot McReynolds, from your family. He's 8 years old and he loves Legos. He loves crown dancers and he is quite a little boy. So belated birthday, but I was there yesterday. And just to let you know, we are going into phase 3. Right now, starting tomorrow, we'll be in phase 3. That just means all tribal departments remain on their full-time schedule. Outdoor recreations are allowed, but you need to follow the indoor-outdoor policy. Public gatherings are still allowed. Again, you have to follow the policy. Religious gatherings are allowed to continue in a modified manner according to the guidelines. We have a reservation curfew that starts tomorrow, 10 p.m. to 5 in the morning. And funeral services now, wakes are not allowed now, and only church and graveside services. Why is all this happening, Mr. Producer? If you could put up the daily dashboard. There we go. We are up to 49 in positive cases. We had a positive increase of 13. And if you look where we are, we're under phase 3 right now. And the higher the positives go, the more we're going backwards. And when we get 34 cases together in a 3-day period, they total 34, that's going to initiate a lockdown. I've heard from many of you, you do not want a lockdown. Well, we need to more and more be aware of our surroundings, wear your masks. The tribe, the reservation still has a mask mandate. We still, need to be socially distant, wash our hands, all of those things. Please don't let your guards down. Get your vaccine. We need to get our vaccines up to 70% and higher. And we are at 56%. That means we need about 2,000 more to get to 70%. Also, because of this, the Tribal Council voted to cancel this year's tribal fair. Jerry, we know that the tribal fair draws a lot of different people from all over. We welcome them, but this year, because of our numbers going up again, and the number of unvaccinated tribal members that are higher than the ones that have been vaccinated. You know, the health officials, EOC, tribal council, everyone came together and really thought about the health and safety of our people and our vulnerable population out there. And tribal fair has been canceled. For those of you that may know of rodeo contestants that entered the rodeo online, refunds will take up to about 3 weeks. They will have to be done by voucher processing, and you can email Cairo Clay at wmat.us, and I'll spell out his name for you: CAIROCLAY at wmat.us. He's our fair and rodeo manager, and the same goes with the vendors. Some of the vendors had put down deposits to secure their spots for the carnival, what have you. There you have his email at the bottom of your screen. And for any refunds for rodeo entries, email Cairo Clay and he'll give you an update. Jerry, I don't know if you have an announcement or comment.
Oh, yes, regarding Cairo, I spoke with him earlier. He also mentioned that vendors that wanted to sell at the Midway area, which is between the fairgrounds and the rodeo arena, if those that paid already, they are also asked to email him whether they want one, either refund, or two, to have that money applied to next year, and they'll have a guaranteed spot reserved for them. And so, but you got to email Cairo Clay right there at cairoclay@wmat.us. And so also my granddaughter graduated. We're all happy for her, and she wants to go swimming. So maybe we'll take her to the Salt River. Just kidding, just kidding. It's chocolate milk over there. Woo, boy, when it's rough. But yeah, she's graduated from Head Start, I think, or kindergarten. But we're happy for her.
Well,
so Chairwoman, I'm glad things are going well. The decision, I think the people will understand. In the name of public safety, we were in single digits for quite a long time. Things were going well, and then just like that, now we're at, what was it, 49?
49.
49. That's scary. And hopefully all you 49 will stay isolated, stay quarantined, take this seriously. Don't spread this dreaded, awful virus disease. We don't want it. Nobody wants it. So take it seriously and stay isolated. Take care of yourself. The rest of you, if you haven't gotten your vaccine, please consider getting your vaccine. All right, Chairwoman, I'll pass the ball right back to you.
All right, thank you. And very important to get your vaccine. We have mobile units going all over the place. And if you're unsure about the vaccine, if you're pregnant or nursing, call our local Indian Health Service hospital. They'll be glad to help you, answer your questions. And they don't have anyone, that is significantly so ill that cannot take the vaccine. So they're willing to help calm your fears and answer your questions. From December to now, that's about a good 8 months of the entire world getting their vaccines, and the efficacy has been shown. And please remember, nothing is 100% when it comes to vaccines, but it does provide you up to 95% protection if you use the Pfizer, and I believe Johnson & Johnson is up to the 68% efficacy, and that's better than having 0% protection. So the choice is yours, and I commend all of the ones that have gotten the vaccines. Our highest percentage of 80% being vaccinated is the 65 to 74-year-old age category.
Good.
75 and older is at 74%. So our
Good.
elderly are giving us the lead on being vaccinated, but we also have to remember we are a young population. So, but we love our elders and we want to protect them with everything we've got. And I'm glad that they're getting vaccinated. And the sooner you get vaccinated, the quicker we can attack this virus. And
Sure.
we are now having the Delta variant that has arrived. So if you're not vaccinated, the Delta variant is a lot more contagious and brings on a lot more challenges if it will, you know, have its way. So it's up to you, and we encourage you to get your vaccines. And from here, you know, did you have any other announcements, Jerry?
Yes. Well, the tribal fair you just announced is canceled. What is not canceled is the Miss White Mountain Apache Queen pageant.
Right.
As a matter of fact, the applications are still available right now. They close on July 30, 5 p.m. You have some time, not a lot. Contact the Queen Committee at 338-332-2488, I believe is the number at CBQ Complex. That's where they are centralized, but you can pick up an application at the chairwoman's office. We are back at the executive headquarters, which is the building closest to the cliff edge by the river. And we're back. And so just try to knock on the door. We'll have someone meet you and we'll give you an application. And so July 30 is the deadline, 5 o'clock. And with that, it will be a virtual pageant, correct, Chairwoman?
Yes, it'll be virtual because the tribal fair was canceled. There is an outdoor-indoor policy right now because we're in phase 3, and we don't know the projected outcome of how we're going to look from here on out. So I think to sway on the side of caution that we have it virtually.
Okay. All right. So fire restrictions are lifted. Also, I wanted to make mention, Chairwoman, we had guests in the past. His name is Dustin Rector from the Red Steer family. And he is taking his bar exam to become a legitimate an attorney. And the exam is this Tuesday and Wednesday. So prayers go out to Dustin Rector. Best wishes to him, a smart individual, just got back from Washington, D.C. over the springtime here. So he's been in the books, just studying. So go for it, Dustin. You can do it. All right. Chairwoman, I'll pass the ball back to you. Next item you have on anything? Or
I wanted to wish my good friend Cody Brooks hello. He's been giving some good encouragement to my family at this time, and to all of you as well. Have been giving prayers, encouragement, good words. We did lose my older sister on Wednesday after a long, hard-fought battle to cancer. And she's done a lot for the White Mountain Apache people and for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and for wherever she has been. She has been a tremendously spiritual giant. And I want to thank, excuse me, I want to thank the Tribal Council for recognizing her achievements and dedication and commitment. They're the ones that made a decision to honor her, and I'm very humbled and grateful for that. And we have a proclamation for Friday, July 30th, when her funeral will take place. And I'll go over the funeral right now. And the rest of the show is going to be dedicated to her. I love my sister. Thank you for allowing me to share my memories of her on my page, making, just giving you my thoughts about how I feel about her. And she's just been a tremendously giant influence on me. But her funeral will be Friday, July 30th at the Sholo LDS Chapel downtown. The viewing will start at 8:30, go till 10:30. That's the viewing, and then the funeral begins at 11 o'clock, and we'll have a luncheon after the services. And you're probably wondering why is she having it in Show Low. Phoebe grew up in Show Low, as did I, and her beloved late husband Tinker is buried there, and it was her wish to be buried next to him. And for those of you that wonder about Show Low, there was a lot of Apache people that lived in Show Low in the early 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s for employment purposes. And before the reservation line was even established, our people lived there. So, Show Low is where she'll have her final resting place. And she was 68 years old. And she is a few months older than my other sister, Gwendolyn. And there's 11 of us, and I'm the youngest of the 11. And she is, just a phenomenal person. And I wanted you to hear from former tribal chairman Dallas Massey. We also have former councilwoman Mariti Craig on the show today. And we have President Bernadine Burnett from Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation, who will speak to the contributions that Phoebe did and their work together. Good morning, Dallas.
Good morning.
Good morning. First of all, thank you for joining us on the show. And I want to give you some time now to let the viewers know when you were tribal chairman, Phoebe was on the council, and how you work together, and tell us a little bit about what you saw and what she did and who she was. I'll give the floor to you. So go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. I got to know Phoebe early in the elementary days up in Show Low. My family and her family apparently were both working in the sawmill in Show Low. So that's how I got to know them way back in the elementary days. And Phoebe was a serious person, wanted to get things done in her own way, but also kind of funny in a way. And the way she talked to people, the way she expressed it herself. And we've seen all of that during her days, and also in the tribal council also. I remember really meeting Phoebe first right here at Fort Apache in the older days. The reservation didn't have no place to go. There's no theater. There's no baseball fields or anything. But the Lutheran church at Mormon church at the Fort Apache, they showed movies. They had programs. They had everything going. So that's where we met her. And the part she played with us was she was our music directors. There's some birds out there that can really sing pretty. And there's some guys with us like myself, voice like a crow. And she told us, hey, you guys stand in the back. And she lined us up according to how we sing. And Phoebe, she's always directing music with her hands, motion, and telling us this is the way to sing together. So she lined up all the good singers in the front. And us guys, myself, Leo Thompson, and late Billy Cunn, we got bad voices. And she told us to stand way in the back. Keep your mouth moving, act like you're singing. And every time somebody wanted to sing, she pointed that little thing that she was carrying. Quiet, that's the way she told us. But that's where we ran into her. We did a lot of programs here in White River, and then also in Show Low and Snowflake. We went around singing. We had a nice little choir here down at Fort Apache. But that's where second time I really met her. And then the next time I met her was we had a baseball team, not a softball team at the Bureau of Indian Affairs. We call ourselves BIA agency. And as you know, you were part of it also.
Mhm.
And we played softball co-ed. And man, that chairwoman today, she played third base for us. And everybody that was standing at first base were complaining. Tell that lady to slow down in her throws. She can really pop them gloves at first base. A lot of games, and we played quite a bit. Played for championship. We won some and we lost some. And during those times, everybody called us BIA. And she was, I don't know how she came up with this. And she would say every time we get behind, come on, Buffaloes. How did she come up with that name? We don't know, but she's always yelling at us, come on, Buffaloes. It was something she came up with last minute, and that everybody picked on her for that. But that's how I got to know her. And then the next time I really worked with her was Tribal Council. And at Tribal Council, she was really a hard worker. She wanted to get things done. As you know, way back in 1998, Creso was already having some problems with water. And we were working with our lobby and we set up meetings to go to IHS and our representatives from here. And she took a bottle of water, 1 quart water. That water, when we left from here, was clear as can be, any water bottle. By the time we get back to Washington, landed at the airport, that water was turning a little bit black color. The second day we were meeting in Maryland with IHS and our representative, that bottle of water was completely black. And as we opened up the meeting, I started to talk about some of the problems we have and the reason why we're there. And I introduced Phoebe. Phoebe, do you have something to say? Because she's a District 2 representative that includes Creso and Cedar Creek. She said, yes, I would like to show this to the representative and IHS personnel here. So she showed them that black water that Creso drinks. And to their surprise, everybody's surprised that people drink black water in Creso. They couldn't believe it. When you tell somebody about the problem you have back home, and it's really hard to say it in words, but when you have a bottle showing that black water, you know, they say picture says 1,000 words, and she showed that to everybody. To everybody's surprise, that we had immediate support from the IHS personnel and our representative, because they were really surprised people are drinking that kind of water. And that was one of the biggest support for the Creso people from her district. And she really talked and presented that everybody was listening, the place was quiet, and she had the floor. So that's one of the things she really pushed for people back home. And that's one of the serious things she did in Washington, D.C., and she had everybody's attention. And then on the jokester side also, as we were in Washington, we visited the president's house, White House. We were inside the house, and after touring that place, we went to old BIA office. And BIA office, as you know, it's an old building. And as we're walking down the stairs, 3 or 4 flights down, and it's a narrow stairs that we had. We had some guys in the front and some girls in the back, like Phoebe, she was way in the back. So all the guys, when we got to the bottom, the next door we went into was men's restroom. And everybody went in there, and Phoebe just happened to follow everybody in men's restroom. There she was. So I have never been in men's restroom all my life. She was just looking around, and we had some council member already using the restroom, and they tried to turn, Phoebe, get out, get out. And she said, I've never been in here. Council member Mariti Craig was standing in the house, Phoebe, come out here. Listen, I've never been in here. And, we had the vice chair, Johnny and Alvin were standing already using the restroom. Said, Phoebe, get out, Phoebe. Get out. He just took her tongue and finally left. That's one of the things we remember about her. She's always joking and saying some things you never thought of. But that's how we work with Phoebe. And she was a hard worker. And I think she had a lot of things done the time we had served with her as a council. And at times also we were in South Dakota. President Clinton was there for first time economic development. And we had the council there. We had it with her over there. And after the conference, we went touring on the Black Hills and also Badlands. Badlands is a place where it's plain nothing. And during the hot days, we had water and soda. And by that time, everybody wanted to use the restroom, and we were in two vans, wanted to get away. What's going on over here? Everybody was lined up behind the van to use the restroom. There she was, questioning everybody again. But that's some times we had with her, real good times, and we will never forget that. We will remember all the stuff that we had with her. So I just want to tell everybody, we all have sorrow and sadness in our life, but we know Jesus Christ is alive today, and we have hope in that name. And the death is swallowed up at the cross. Thank you.
Yay. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And those were the good old days, the VIA Buffaloes. I remember. And she was our pitcher. And I had the opportunity to play with Dallas Massey and the Walker family. And we went for championship many times along with Phoebe and all the other players that came. And for those of you that are viewing, Phoebe served on the tribal council 1998 to 2002, and then 2002 to 2006. During 2002 period, she lost her son, Dustin. And boy, that was a challenge. But like a true leader, she still continued on, and she always relied on the Savior. And next guest that we have on our show, thank you to Dallas for your memories and sharing of Phoebe. We have the president of Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation, Bernadine Burnett. Good morning, Bernie.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us how you know Phoebe and in your work with your government there and your work with Phoebe. Tell the viewers about the Phoebe that they may not know, and what she did and how you know her.
Thank you. What an honor. Good morning, everybody. From cloudy, rainy Fort McDowell. We miss our son. But we understand it's coming back. But yeah, I was trying to recollect when I first met former council member Phoebe Nez. I may have went to one of the inaugurations, either it was 98 or 2002. But yeah, I've been going on 27 years here in Fort McDowell, so it's a long time. And I'm trying to remember, but she was always calm, very serious, like you heard Dallas say. You should always say, let's roll up our sleeve and get it done. Every time I got to see her at one of our meetings, she was always timely, conscious. Let's get started, let's get moving, let's complete. And I'm kind of one of those too. So I know her and I already kind of followed the same track. She was very quiet, but yet very smart in her own way, always beautifully dressed in her camp dresses everywhere that I used to see her, and very, very highly respected, always recognizing, no offense to the men, but all us women in leadership, she was always humbly telling me, "You're doing a good job. Keep moving forward. We need more women like you across America and in particular Indian country." And I always remember her telling me that when we were at several at our meetings. And she will be missed. She will be missed. She always did mention her belief in the LDS Church, which is we all have a choice. Which she was a great example, in her belief and to us as women too, because she was a couple of years older than me, and it was great to know that she did a lot for the White Mountain Apache tribe. But yeah, I'm trying to recollect the last time I seen her. But Gwendena, you mentioned her son passing away. We were at a sunrise dance. I always remember that summer when her son tragically, passed away. But I'm trying to remember when the last time we seen her. I think we just waved at one another, and I didn't know she had, medical issues. But bless her heart, Willen got to see her Tuesday. Of course, the first thing she asked Willen where I was. And he said, she's busy. She's busy. And she just kind of shook her head. But yeah, very outstanding a woman, very exemplified woman amongst the Apache women. She will be missed, Gwendena. Everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Most definitely. And
Yeah,
Bernie, and Bernie, I know with your gaming, she did a lot with Arizona Indian Gaming back in the day, and you guys were a part of that team that just took, Prop 202 and all the other issues with gaming, and you led the charge with all the other Arizona leaders at that time. So very, very humbling to know that you two, along with Meridi, Judy DeHose, Dallas, everybody back in that time, did that for Indian country. So thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you for allowing me to say a few things on her behalf. We will be there on Friday, so
good.
We'll come up Thursday night. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
But thank you. God bless all of you, and she will truly, truly be remembered.
Yes.
Thank
you, Bernie. Thank you.
Someone just had Sharon Smith-White or Sharon White-Smith. Phoebe did a lot for the Apache people. Absolutely beautiful lady, heartfelt to the family. Thank you, Sharon White-Smith. Bless you as well. And Izzy Gleason, my condolences to the Lee Nez family and all of the White Mountain Apache Nation. Rest peacefully, Phoebe. Oh, thank you. Virginia Chavez. Good morning, Chairwoman. I'm so happy to hear about the past. I'm so sorry to hear about the passing of your beloved sister. My sincere condolences goes out to you and your family. Yes. So, wow. Alicia Begolin. Whenever I saw Phoebe, she always mentioned that she knew my grandparents, the late Joe and Lena Tate. When I saw her a few weeks ago, she again mentioned my late grandparents. She also mentioned that she used to babysit my older uncles and nephews. Phoebe was a wonderful woman of God. May she rest in peace. All right. So, Chairwoman, I understand also we have another guest, and I'll pass the ball to you.
Yes. This guest is a beautiful woman. She does so much for our people. And she's also been a former councilwoman working alongside Phoebe. I remember a lot of the work that they did. They traveled in threesome along with Judy DeHose. And I wish Judy was able to join us, but we wish her well. I know with COVID, there's a lot of things that are happening as far as restrictions and stuff, and then internet connections. But Meridi Craig, she's done so much with Phoebe, and I'm very grateful that she's able to share some thoughts of Phoebe, how she worked with her, how she knew her, and the person that Phoebe was at the council table. Something that we didn't get to see. I know I didn't get to see that as much because I was working elsewhere during some of that time. And then I was the tribe's human resources director at the time as well. But Mariti Craig, thank you so much for joining us. And we'll turn the time over to you to share your thoughts about Phoebe and how you worked with her and how you knew her. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chairwoman. It's truly an honor to be invited and to share with you my beautiful memories of a wonderful woman. First of all, I'd like to convey my sincerest sympathy to the family, to the children, to all the friends out there, and of course, our people, the White Mountain Apache tribe. I'm going to say real briefly in Apache, I know there are listeners out there that may not understand, but I just want to say this in her memory in Apache. Heya shonkla ko irarulsa jodandig no hiki no chaonare kahya ko ye dinigdi that lini gunya bifnash asher gunya bifna isi go gunya kisha ona ilkahu gunya diljijna ana chapa andil dawa inde silgaisa anda biya bi bah ulkahu na ilzigo gunya juro tayo ba hensira den isam junai no cha onata dini jo binne zillo ayila debitis schland en indigo san bichegos ande a coach in ya neda tana da kui time she banasta a ko banastayo shil naulde shilnjo shil tanolsho no hiltine o a do tayo ba hensere wa aishti. I just want to say thank you to Phoebe. Thank you to her family for sharing her with the White Mountain Apache people. Our people loved her. They voted her in as our District 2 councilwoman. And in the years that we were on the tribal council, 1998 on over to basically 8 years, we worked with the tribal leadership. And we went to Washington, D.C. many times, and Phoenix as well, and other states. It was good to hear the former chairman, Dallas Massey, mention our trip to South Dakota, where we met with President Clinton. We both made it a goal that one day we would meet President Clinton. And we did. Not only one time, that was our first time when we met him in South Dakota. The second time was in Phoenix. It was a real beautiful time. A meeting was held with Indian leaderships, but there was a special reception where we were late for, and the doors were closed, and we really didn't register ahead of time, but we knew we wanted to see the president again. Well, as Phoebe was, she was so outgoing, so full of humor that she went to, I didn't know, she ran off and met up with one of the planners and got us in. We got into this reception with the president, Bill Clinton, and we have some beautiful pictures, and we never put it in the Apache Scout. In a way, we both were very, very humbled by the fact that we met the president again for the second time. We let him know that the White Mountain Apache tribe needed his support, we were advocates. And that was something that Phoebe did really, really well. With her humor, her beauty, everything she had, she gave to legislators and President Clinton. We both talked to President Clinton, and we were so honored. We were so honored. And throughout the years that we were there as council members, we even met up with Scottie Pippen. And that was amazing because we were followers of the Phoenix Suns, fans back then, and still today. So Phoebe and I had a very, very wholesome time serving our people. I can't say enough about her beauty inside and out. Her heart was always among this White Mountain Apache region, which includes Show Low. She mentioned that she had an elderly relative, a leader of his time, that is buried in Show Low. So her heart, her home, her family, all lived in Show Low. And the people that she went to church with all were from Show Low, Pine Top, Lakeside area. She was fond of all these people. And I recall one day we were talking about spirituality and how she told me that one day when we were very, very young, we basically met up in Salt Lake City because both of us were on the Indian Student Placement Program. Our parents sent us away. We were quite young, but we met and we were talking. And as all of us have testimonies, Phoebe had a great one. She really dedicated her life to doing well, doing what was necessary and right for the church and our people. Well, one day she was reading her scriptures and she had her Bible up like this, she said. And all of a sudden, the pages started turning. That's always touched me. It's always touched me because good things happen to good people. And this was something that has always stuck in my mind because when you really, truly give of yourself, these good things happen. And there's so much more. But Phoebe was a very talented woman. She was very strong in her faith. She was very strong in the Apache way. One thing that people probably don't know is that Phoebe was a very good singer in the Apache language. She used to sing Apache songs on our travels. Those were very special times. Sometimes I try to sing Apache songs, and it's not as good as Phoebe. Phoebe was wonderful. She was so amazing. I always admired her memory of all that she'd gone through. They were so clear. She would always tell me about her memories of her family, her grandmother, and how she was raised. And she was raised in the Apache way, just like I was. And so I value her. I will truly miss her. In the last few years, as she was battling cancer, we would talk occasionally and we would exchange gifts during holidays. And she'd come to the tribal court. That's where I work as a court administrator. And she would bang on my window. And there was Phoebe with her gift. And I'd run outside and give her my gift, and she'd give me hers. So these are private moments, private times that I shared with a wonderful woman, a very true woman of God. So for District 2 and the White Mountain Apache people, I am so proud to have known Phoebe. I'm so proud to have shared my life with her as a beautiful friend. She was outspoken. She spoke really well in Apache. And one day, I remember we weren't working for the tribal council then, but she was given the role to be the manager of KNNB. And while being on KNNB, you can't help but be nervous sometimes trying to speak in Apache. And she was, and I was listening to her, and her Apache was so well spoken, but at the same time, you know, she had so much humor that some of her Apache words came out really, really funny, and she would make a joke out of it. And that's how she entertained us on KNNB too. She was a wonderful, wonderful manager there. And I loved her classical music that she adored and played for us, country and Western classical music. So it was wonderful to share these wonderful times with her. And, I can't help but think about how much she loved her family, how much she loved her husband, Tinker, how much she missed her son, Dustin. And she's reunited with them right now. She's busy. She's doing the Lord's work. She's happy. So I just want to say that, Gwendena, Chairwoman, Madam Chair, thank you so much for this invite. There's so much more to say, but Phoebe was a wonderful person. I will miss her much.
Well said.
Hired me as your driver to go to Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Remember that?
Yes.
Oh.
I got to drive both council ladies to Tahlequah, Oklahoma, and boy, we were at this powwow, and Phoebe just stole the show. She just did. And I was the driver, and it was so funny. Her and Mariti were in the back resting, and Phoebe would be like, let's stop for this. And wherever we stopped, she struck up a conversation, and somehow it just led to more memories. And boy, we just had a good old time. And I think the tribal fair was beginning, and we were trying to rush home, and we got stopped by the police, Jerry. And Phoebe talked her way out of it. And right by Amarillo, Texas, there's this giant statue of Jesus. And the cops stopped us right there. And Phoebe's like, that man, Jesus will help us. And me and Mariti were like, Phoebe, we just got stopped, and we don't know if, but Phoebe, she talked her way out of it, and we were on the road again. And me and Mariti just looked at each other like, what just happened here? And Phoebe's like, let's get going. We have to get there, So but thank you so much, Mariti, for your good memories. You too, along with Judy, you women on the council back then working with the gentlemen, you did phenomenal work, and you still do for our people at Tribal Court. That's one of the things that Chairman Lupi told me about the both of you, just the work that you did, and Judy as well. And thank you for joining us and sharing those wonderful memories. And Phoebe truly was a spiritual giant.
She was.
Yes.
Thank you. One more thing real quickly, and that is that Phoebe was so full of life that my late uncle, the late Dal Riley, would say that when they went to play or go bowling in Las Vegas in some competitive manner, she was so full of life that they used to call her party girl. And it wasn't a bad connotation. She was just so much fun to be with. I think that you all know that. Thank you.
Very good. I know Chairwoman will be back, but Mariti, bless you, your family. Thank you for your appearance today and your leadership and the stories you just told. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Same to you.
So So Chairwoman will be back briefly. She's at the office. Mariti talked about gifts. Phoebe was known for that. I have a coworker, Debbie Paxson. Debbie and I and the staff been cleaning all this past week, moving stuff out of the boxes into this spot, that spot, scrubbing, cleaning, whatever. Debbie, my coworker, the executive assistant to the chairwoman, went through the boxes and found this gift from Phoebe. And I'll show you right there, to Debbie from Phoebe Nez. And it was during Christmas here. Look at that little beautiful ornament. And that was from Phoebe, just being Phoebe. And for no particular reason, decided to give a gift to Debbie. And then Meridi talked about Phoebe living in Sholo. I married a girl from Sholo, I guess. And I remember going to Sholo and pleading to her parents if I can take her hand in Sholo. And so Apaches were still living there in Sholo. And guess what? She said yes. July 22 was what? Yes, 2 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
That was our wedding anniversary. So I'm not trying to say anything on that, but it's a true story. And so 26 years now. Hey, Chairwoman, there you are. Also, Meridi talked about Phoebe singing Apache songs. I knew it all along, and she would make them up, pull them from the sky, and whatever's going on that day, that week, or whatever, she would apply her own lyrics to that song in synchrony, in just perfect like that. And I thought that was special. So one of the last weeks or a few days, I felt the urge to just give that gift back, and I sang her a Thunder song at her home. And wow, that was a powerful song. I opened the door, got there, opened the door, and I thought, oh man, what do I say? What do I do? I'm got a little bit lost. And then, thunder way in the back mountain. I know what to do. So it all was perfect timing. But Chairwoman, before we go, I know there's about 6 minutes left in the show, 7. We got some time. Memorial dinner today for the late Rita Norris and Tim Clausen, both wonderful, good people, good families, and they admired you. And they know that you are in mourning, and so you likely might not be able to attend. But blessings go to the Clausen and Norris family, Gladys Bencomo's sister.
Yes.
So I'll pass the ball back to you, Chairwoman, and then we got closing prayer. So I'll step out of this chair.
Yeah, we have a video footage, and then we have my nephew who will be singing a traditional song, and then we'll do the closing prayer. But one of the things I want to share with you about Phoebe, I will never forget this. We played co-ed softball, like Dallas Massey mentioned earlier. We were playing for the championship game, and we lost a player to an injury. And Phoebe went and picked someone out in the audience to play with us. And he was mentally challenged, this player. So she put him as a pitcher, or not a pitcher, but a catcher, while she was the pitcher. And we needed one run to win the game. And the other team was batting. And we threw the ball ever so gently to the catcher, and he didn't catch it. And the ball rolled off, and the runners came in, and we lost the game. And we were like, what just happened here? But the lesson we learned was it wasn't about winning. It was about letting this gentleman have a moment in time to play ball, because he had been begging to play. And Phoebe got him to play. And after a while, even the winning team just handed the trophy to our catcher, and he marched around the baseball field so proud that he had to get the trophy. And the audience, the grandstand audience down below, down by the river, they had a grandstand there, and everybody was cheering. And pretty soon we were all just rallying around this player, and he was so happy. And Phoebe, at that time, she was like, that's why I chose him to play with us. And we forgot about the game. We just wanted him to be happy. And that's the kind of effect that my sister had. And I'll never forget that. She was truly a wonderful person, a very forgiving person. And she loved kids. She loved her family. She depended on her sister-in-law, Cindy, to do a lot for her and Art and their kids, a very close-knit family. And she drove around the country stars that came for the fair. Didn't matter who they were. She gave the late Earl Thomas Conley a trash bag, and she's like, could you help me pick up the trash? And she drove the Bellamy brothers all over White River. Southern Pacific needed jewelry at the end of the concert, and she drove them to Anna Gassion's house and said, Anna, we came here to buy some jewelry at 2 a.m. And Anna thought Phoebe was kidding. And she opens the door, and lo and behold, she's got the whole band there. And Anna's like, "Sha, Phoebe, howlay," and opened the door. And of course, Anna did very well that night. But just a very, very phenomenal person. And I'll never forget this one too. Christmas Eve, she had me watch the phones at K&B, and people were paying for dedications. And I gave her 26 requests for Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. And I thought my sister would just play the song one time and read all the dedications. She played it 26 times right in a row. And everybody was calling and saying, could you stop playing that song? And Phoebe, in her Phoebe voice, okay, the next dedication is Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, and it goes out to, and I had one caller tell me in Apache, but there was Phoebe in her cheerful voice playing that song because the people paid to hear that song. And that's just who she was. But let's go ahead and go to the closing video, and then the video of the song that will be held in her honor. Mr. Producer.
give me the point sign when I'm on. My name's Rodney Dazen. I'm singing a Apache song for my aunt Phoebe Linez. And this song is going to be dedicated for her and the family. Dedication of the song.
Förstår
That's a beautiful song sung by Phoebe's nephews. And I just want to thank all of you for watching today's show. Phoebe jo san jo belkoshipa ini. That's on ya tati ye ijo HOD Kinzi ye ijo belkojon da waha ya kenzi. Tateo shta imbe da waha be washilkojon jandini. And then da shindil Jon ye ibi yo ananta ndina wan yubik el dan bich edin io de lesta account out shilnjo Gwendena tak on zelosenzi shilti do ha by stada Phoebe shilnjo ashonda talada waha lege that son bich osunde bik el dan bijajan lini jo isiso yin sihine. We love you, Phoebe. Journey well back to your creator. And here to give us the closing prayer is a esteemed elder from the Navajo Nation who's married into our tribe. Phoebe just had the highest regards for the Red Steer family. Guy, thank you for joining us, and we'll let you share a few thoughts, and then you can go ahead and do the closing prayer. So thank you.
Hi. I got to know Phoebe way back in the fall of 2006. My wife and I had harvested a lot of apples. We had apples in great big tubs, a tub that you usually take your weekly bath in. We had 4 of those full. We had 5-gallon buckets full of apples. And lo and behold, Phoebe came to us. We never knew Phoebe other than the fact that she was the golden voice of KNNB. And here she was at our residence. And she saw all those apples. And she says, what are you going to do with them? Well, my wife and I looked at each other and said, shrugged our shoulders and said, I don't know. Okay, maybe I can help you cook them apples. Cook apples? Yeah, we will can them. So my wife and I went up the hill and bought a bunch of stuff that you can apples with or whatever. And lo and behold, I was put in charge of peeling apples. Peeling apples by the buckets, by the tubs. It was a tedious job, but they were having fun, and I was sitting there peeling apples, just like Sack in the old comic strips. Anyway, during one of their breaks, my wife says, "Oh, let's take a walk over to the edge of where you can look down on the farmlands right across from the fish hatchery." And they were in awe and says, let's pray. And my wife was kind of puzzled and says, I never prayed before when I'm sitting up here. So they went ahead and prayed. And next thing you know, they went to, Phoebe invited my wife to go to her church. So my wife came back and he says, Phoebe can play the piano. She really is good at playing the piano. It's so wonderful to, I just thought she was just Phoebe. So from there, they got invited to church, and my wife said, okay, let's go to church. And said, nah, you go, girl. I'm here watching the Cardinals get beat. That was on Sundays. So several Sundays went by, and I refused to go to church. And then one day she says, you said you would assist me, you would help me. And the time has come. So I said, okay, I'll go. Before I knew it, we were baptized and we got on the right road. I have never been baptized all my life. So that's how we got to know Phoebe. And this has been a wonderful situation that we have become friends with their family. and even all the way up to the father, Phoebe's father. He used to say every time he sees me, Abiga. That means it's so fitting. So with this information about Phoebe, and there's so many more that has been said about how good a person and how we will miss Phoebe. So I will go ahead and do my closing prayer. Our wonderful and gracious Heavenly Father, I feel honored to participate in today's session where we remember Phoebe Lee-Nez. Yes, the Apache Nation has lost a great warrior, a great leader, a friend. She was all of this to the people of this small reservation. She was friends to the tribes of Arizona. She went far as Salt Lake City to be felt, to say things about Heavenly Father. So my wife and I has really done a lot of things together with the church, and we feel honored to be part of this, and all because of Phoebe. And today, yes, we will miss her. Her legacy will carry on. We know of great leaders that is never ever forgotten. Yes, she will be one of those people that will be remembered forever and ever, long after she's gone. And her tracks has been faded, but she will continue her legacy. Yes, Phoebe, we will miss you. You will be missed. And this is what I, as Heavenly Father, and I pray in Jesus' beloved Son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen.